So I think this is a story really about my career and what brought me here. And if I thought about it on the flight home today. I was in Orlando today, and I started working at a young age. I was 15 years old, and the real motivation to start working is I wanted money. And to me, money and my first vehicle was freedom. And it was a way to get independence. So that was my first, why I loved working, why I was so passionate about what I started out to do. It led me to fast food when I was 15 years old. I worked at Wendy's. I ended up being there for almost 4 years, strangely enough. Started at $4.35 an hour, and I would do the math, how much money I would make every week that I could save up for this car that I wanted. 1984 Chevy Cavalier hatchback with a tape deck. I don't think any of the kids even know what that means. I don't know if I could find a tape in my house anymore, to be honest. I have a lot of CDs though. And when I got that goal, when I saved enough money, I could buy my first car. This is amazing. And it drove me to work more. And this is before cell phones and computers and all that stuff. And it would be a call from the manager, like, somebody called in, do you want to work today? And I would be the first one there, because I would do the math about how $4.35 an hour would add up for that day, and how much more money I could make, and save. I was saver. I mean, I was such a saver that I would save my lunch money and make myself a peanut butter sandwich so I could, like, tuck that 35 cents away that I was going to pay for lunch for something. And that really gave me, I think, looking back and thinking about it today, kind of makes me define who I am today. And some of those managers I work for, and it really gives me purpose to teach the youth that I'm working with now. Someone called in, I wanted to learn something. I wanted to, the salad bar girl called in, I wanted to learn how to cook. If the sous chef called in that day, or the dishwasher, anybody, I wanted to learn how to do that. So somebody came to me, and today I was thinking about it, I can't remember the person's name, but he came to me and he said, "Do you going to drop out of college?" I'm like, "Yes," because I told student those classes, I'm just dead. And I'm paying for him, and I can't even stay awake. He said, "If you quit school, we'll send you to food and beverage management school. We'll pay for it. It's kind of a continuing ed thing, because we see something in you." And to me, that was just amazing that somebody saw something in me. And I went to this school, and then I ended up being the sous chef at the West Point Military Academy. I spent 11 years there, where I went from sous chef to head chef to food and beverage director. We did special events for alumni affairs, presidential visits. I fed the commandant, dean, superintendent. I met so many people at West Point, and I really thought that was where I would retire. I spent 11 years there. So I called in for the first time in 11 years. And I said, "I'm not going to make it today." And they're like, "What do you mean? We have a party today." And I was like, "Well, I don't think you want me here." And I had my first and only child, which was amazing. After 9/11, a lot of people were buying homes in the upstate of New York for way more than I bought mine for. My military family was in New Orleans. And we kind of looked at each other and said, if we could make some money on our house. It's a long, long ride with a 6-month-old and a 120-pound dog. It was really funny, to be honest with you. And I don't recommend it to anybody. But we made it, and our house there was a mile away from my parents and a mile in the other direction to my sister. So to me, family was the most important thing. And I'm like, hell, this is early retirement. I just want a house for cash, and I get to stay home with my kid. That's amazing. Until Sesame Street, like, was damaging my brain, I couldn't watch it anymore, right? We had a routine. We would get up, you do breakfast, you do walk, you do lunch, you do a nap, you do the ABCs, but I don't know if I'm really cut out to do that. But I did it for 2 years, or 18 months or so. I started to work part-time because I was just listening. So I would work on the weekends at the Napoleon House in the French Quarter. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It was fun. I was the only white female in the building. And every time I walked in, they were like, you're stealing my job. You're stealing my job. I'm like, no, I'm here to cook. I just want to cook. I just want to learn. I wanted to learn French-style cooking. Boarded up our windows, and we evacuated, and we didn't get a drop of rain. So everybody then thought, for Katrina, it's false alarm, and we stayed. We all stayed way too long. And my family went to here. They came here to Greenwood. But we weren't welcome in Greenwood because we had a big dog, so we went west to Texas. And when my family got, my sister and my mom and dad and the little kids got, I don't know, maybe 100 miles away, the police turned them back because they said, you're going to run out of gas, you got to go back to your house. And no cell phones, you guys have to remember no cell phones. And we made it to Texas. Took 18 hours, but we were safe. But we knew that we weren't going to stay there. I went back. My house wasn't badly damaged. My parents and my sister, they left. They were gone. One went to North Carolina. My mom went to Tennessee. And I ended up staying, strangely enough. And I did a lot of recovery work in the soup kitchens. With a baby on my hip, I put him in his playpen, and I would process food. And I would cook for the Mennonites and all the people that were firefighters that were coming to help everybody. My sister, again, who likes her way, the way it is. Ooh, that's going to catch off fire. She is an English major. And she wrote me a fake resume, which was brilliant. Well, not really fake, but I didn't even have a resume, right? But she made it sound like way better than I ever could have. And she gave it to the Larkins people, the Larkins leadership at that time. And they called me and asked me for an interview. I'm like, who are you? I can apply for this job. What are you talking about? And they said, we want to meet you. You'd be perfect. You work by a theater. We had a theater. You know, big events. You know, celebrities. You know how to do that kind of stuff. We want to meet you. I said, okay, well, my husband works on the bridges right now, repairing things. I am primary caregiver. If you want to meet me, you need to fly me and my son to meet you. So I thought for sure they'd be like, yeah, I'm going to fly an infant up there, or a little guy, toddler. And I thought they'd say no. Next thing you know, on my dial-up big white computer, I see 2 plane tickets coming. And we were on our way. COVID for me. It teaches you something, though, and how if you have a will, you have a way. And Adam and I, the co-owner, my partner, had to sit in front of 31 salaried managers and let them all go, and then tell them to let go all 300 employees we had, because we knew we wouldn't have any income to pay them, let alone pay the rent, pay the bills that were coming in, or anything like that. And we didn't own it at the time, but we act like, we did it like we did own it. if that makes sense. And we hustled up every dollar we could possibly make, to the tune of, some days it was $1,000, or we just wanted to process all the food out of every walk-in we had, not waste anything, and take care of our staff best we could. I think we worked 20, 30 days in a row. And every day was like a new marketing strategy, or how were we going to make money, or how were we going to process this food so nothing got wasted. That was the most important thing to me. I hated all the waste. We took all the food out of every walk-in, took it down to Larkin's, old Larkin's, and processed it, or gave it to the staff. And we made it through somehow. It's like a blur, but we made it through that. And after we came out of that, we moved. We moved from old Larkins to new Larkins because our lease was up and we weren't able to re-sign that lease. So here we are, new construction, new design. Everybody welcome. I'm so happy everybody's here. Hopefully I'm not boring you. This is just a quick blip of my life. But that's how we are. We're scrappy and relentless, and we won't give up. And I will get my watch someday, but it ain't this year. And I mean, that's my story. Good. So if you guys have any questions or want me to fill in any holes, I will. I don't want to talk too long and bore everybody, but that's kind of the quick Wendy's to here and ownership. Thanks for listening.